Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson, and welcome back to a new video. Today, it is Come Design With Me again. If you're unfamiliar of what Come Design With Me is, it is a logo and branding challenge that we do on this channel every week. You win a $200 gift card, and it's a very friendly, but yet very competitive competition. Every week, I look at about 4 or 5 different submissions from you guys, and then the person who gets the most votes at the end of the video is into the final round, where they will win a $200 gift card if they are the final voted person to win the challenge. Last week's votes was done on easy polls because I couldn't fit all of them in the cards, and it was rolled down who won by 51% of the votes. If you don't know how to vote, it's in one of the cards up here in this video. I think it's over here, or it could be over here actually. There's a card section at the end of the video. Make sure you watch it to the end and then press the vote section on who you vote for most. On who you vote for most? On who you want to win. Before we get into the first submission, I just want to thank FreshBooks for sponsoring this video, and also remember to press that big fat red subscribe button down below, turning on post notifications so you never miss a video like this. This first submission of today is from Gurjinder Singh, and I think I'm saying that right. Apologies if not. I'm not going to read all of your summary because it might take too long in the video, but clients like that, maybe in a phone call or an email conversation. So here is the main logo. It's Paisley. I really like it. I'm starting to see more and more people using basic shapes in these logos, and it's incredible to see the inspiration that everyone's getting when they're submitting these designs. They are going through the drawing board and everything, and this Z icon here looks amazing. So first off, I'm going to go for the color. The color is great. The form is amazing, and the best thing I like about this one is that you've kerned it correctly, so well done. You can see here that it's a sort of italicized logo design, so that means that it's been kerned ever so slightly more into a proper position. The color makes it very stand out. You've used Zeal with like a really nice teal. Clever as well. I've seen a few people do that, but that's very clever. And it works on both, so you can have the teal background and the non-teal background. This is the icon, looks very good. Unfortunately, I can't get your branding system or anything, but we do have the icon. Now, what I like about this is that the icon works super well in a geometric square like this for applications on the phone. What I want to do though, I want to see what these are like with less of a curve, because I think you can curve this a bit too much. I prefer that. Now that is simplistic. Reason being is you don't want too many curved shapes in your design. So for the icon, I like that. Also, another thing you can do in Illustrator is add a drop shadow. So you do that by going up to, effect, stylize, drop shadow. It just makes it stand out a bit more, come out of the app icon, or should I say, it makes it pop, which is what clients like to use the term. Again, it looks really great on your home screen of an iPhone. This is a really clever way of showing clients that, it does actually work. It sort of bridges the gap between fantasy to clients. The app itself, the UI is very nice. Just one little problem here, and I'm going to do some videos on UI design. You can see here that your navigation at the bottom is way too big. You don't need it to be that big. It can make it look cheap if you do that. Just use the standard navigations that people use and it would look a lot better. But I like all the shadows and the UI that you've got there. Your system works, the gradients work. I like the icons you've got, just make them smaller. But I don't like the amount that's in my account right now. I might be freaking out if that was me, and the amount of Ubers and Nikes and Starbucks I've got. But thank you for the $200. All in all, Gurjinder, your logo is amazing. I like the look of it. You've done a really good job. I've seen you work hard, and I like the way you presented it. Good job. High five. The second submission of today is from Kevin Placid, or Placid, or Placide. I'm not too sure how to pronounce your last name again. But here we go. We've got the logo here in all its glory. First thing I like, it's one of the most unique, but also the coolest looking logos I've seen in a while. The only thing I don't like about it is the type here. I'm not too sure what you've done here, but I think it needs to be a capital letter on the P. I don't like that P. It's sort of like it looks a bit weird. The kerning is definitely on point, but I think the typography inside the logo needs to change ever so slightly to a different typeface to make it better, So again, I don't have loads of images from you, but we do have transparency, passion, innovation. We've got some of these brand assets from you, and you've got the colors here. I like the way that you put the colors there, very clever. You've got like this idea board here, or like word cloud, which is something that I've not seen in this competition, but I've been wanting to, because this happens a lot in my work. I like to have clouds of ideas and words. I just put random words there that help me. It's kind of like a mood board, but just with words. Let's go over here. So we've got some of these idea generations, and look at these. Wow, you have got some good ideas on here. So I'm guessing this is how you came to be. You made it simpler and simpler through the process. Now this is really good. One thing that I would suggest though in the real world with a real client is don't show them all these ideas. Keep some of them back. Choose 3 and then let the client choose. If you're submitting one for a proposal, like out of the 3, then you've done a good job in sort of like keeping these in the background. But the worst time is when a client will pick a logo that you don't want them to choose. So don't give them an option. Any in here that you don't like, don't give. But I understand in this video, it's all about showing your process. So this looks amazing. I like the way that you started up with a concept and you simplified it and you kept your work. Keeping your work is a huge part of showing how you got to a position. Then you came to here, Payzeal, and you've got the concept, and you know, that works really well in an abstract way. I love the way that this icon works. It works on black and white as well, which you've done a good job, so we don't have to worry about print media. It works here as well. And you've got some grids here. Anyone who doesn't know about grids, they make your work look cool in portfolios, so here you go. Oh, and you've used the golden ratio as well. Well done, dude. So for anyone who doesn't understand what Kevin's doing here is he's showing the relationships between the shapes and the space around it. And this is quite a good way of showing other designers like you guys how to do this. He's obviously taken some circle shapes from here. So the inward shape of what makes the bevels or the ends or the snouts of these shapes. And he's gone ahead and used that same circle as the space in the between the logo guideline. So he's given himself the extra space needed, but it's consistent with the icon space with the circle. You may not think it makes a huge difference, but it does. And even showing these things to clients makes it really easy for them to understand the amount of effort that you've gone into. So you got your primary colors, your secondary colors, railways, your typeface, and I like how you've done it here. It's very clever. Sort of like a style guide you're showing me here. So you've got the app icons here for Android and iPhone. So that's very nice. It works really well. There's not much I can say. Ooh, and this looks nice. So that is really clean. So you've got like the app looking super clean, and I like that. That's something that I've not seen yet. Only problem is here, 8. I'm not too sure why the 8, 5 and the 2 aren't like in line. It might be something to do with the type messing up there. But again, with your navigation, same problem. Make sure it's smaller. It doesn't need to be massive. The logo works best when it's not as seen. But I like the way that you've got the Payzeal in a card here. It looks really minimal. You've got the colors and the gradients and everything working together. My only thing would be, you see these parts here where it's got this weird color inside it, this teal. Get rid of that and use like a lighter version of the blue or gray, because you don't want it to, it looks a bit strange for me right here. Kevin, that is amazing. High five from me. If you guys like this logo and you would like to vote for Kevin to win in this round, to be in the finals, click that link or click that voting card up here. So this next one is from Bryant Walker, and I believe he was already submitted, but he's got a resubmission for us here. So let's have a look. Here is the logo, Payzeal. As usual, very nice. I don't like the colors of the P. I don't like orange too much, and I don't like the fact that there's money in the background. You want to stay away from cash. We're not about cash anymore. So when you're talking from a branding perspective, this sort of company, you can assume, don't really want to be handling cash. They just like the digital age, hence the app. Table of contents, very nice. And I believe you've got some grids for us here. Have you got some guides? There we go, there's some guides. Now the only thing is with this, with the guides, I like the way that you've got them here, but I want to mess with them a little bit. I'm going to shove that here. I'm going to shove that here. I prefer that. That looks a lot cleaner, and you can have something here if you needed to. So here's the main logo. So you got P for pay plus the Z for zeal equals the transfer equals pay zeal. So you got the transfer. Now, dude, I like what you've got here. The concept is great, but I want to make sure that you see these lines. You don't want these to be too thin. That is way too sharp for a logo. That is pointy. That could like take someone's eye out. What you want to do is give the illusion of the pointiness without it being pointy. So you could, this is going to be really crude again. I apologize for ruining your work here, but make it less pointy, make it more thick. When you've done that, you go ahead and you sort of like round it off if you can. I like what you've done with the type. Just keep messing around with it. You've rounded some of the corners of the typography, and that's cool. Or that could even be the typeface. I have no idea, but I like what you've done. Maybe with the colors, let's go and change them a little bit. So I'm going to go to the colors and change them, edit them, change the hues. Let's see. So you see this like other color here, I don't want them to be together. I want that to be in relation to it. Blue, purple, and I like that. I prefer that, and it's a better way of presenting it because you can still see the difference in it, and it just works better. All in all, Bryant, I think you've done a good job. Just make sure that you're keeping in mind scalability and the way that people will perceive the logos on a phone. High five. Okay, and the last submission of today is from Cramer, and I believe I've seen you before. I believe you've submitted. I need to keep like a list of people who've submitted. So Corey, here is your logo, and you've gone for a very bold, and may I say boldly, a Fortnite-y sort of brand. Not in any nasty way, not digging at you, but I do actually like it. First off, your app icon is super simple. You've got a nice simple gradient in there, and there's no messing about with you, Corey. But you've messed me about a little bit. You've got a bit of a kerning issue. Let's sort this out. See this P? Let's move that back in. I don't care if it was like that in the font. When you got it, you gotta fix it. Let's sort these two out as well. And that. There we go, that's better. Group them back together, good job. I like the fact that the icon works inside of the logo. It looks really nice. Does it work when it's small? Let's scale this down. And also, you've made it really easy for me to work this as well. Works when it's small. We could grid it up here somewhere. Dude, this works really well. Very simple. Got your app icon here. Again, very simple. I think this is where it gets a bit too Fortnite-y and not babyish, but maybe a bit babyish, is when you have these. You don't want this to be circular on the end. You want these to sort of just be a little bit circular. Make sure you bring this up. Take this down. Bring that up. Take this down. Make the face thing smaller. Let's grid these up. See these little things that you can do to make this like whole thing so much nicer. The concept works really well. There you go, that looks a lot better. Let's just move that password down a bit. There we go. Even the little things with this, you can like actually add some shadows to it if you wanted to. So we're just gonna add like a quick drop down. There you go, little shadows like that can make things look a bit nicer when you've got that in there. I like the app icon, looks really good. Again, this very simple design, but it works super well. You've just written to me here and I'm gonna read it. It says, "This was a lot of fun. I'm glad to get the opportunity to design something like this for a contest. I'm a self-taught graphic designer located in Detroit, and things like this really allow me to think harder than I usually would. Thank you for putting this together, and give Wilma a kiss from me." I'm not gonna, I can't kiss Wilma. So Corey, well done, dude. You've done a good job. You've done good. I think this is a very simple idea. I really like it. It does remind me of Fortnite a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But I like that about it. I think the typography is very friendly and nice. But it's about striking that balance of being professional and being friendly. So guys, cast your votes up here. I think they're up here if I get my arm right in the right way around. Remember to choose carefully and choose the design that you want to win for this round. I just want to thank FreshBooks who are sponsoring this video. If you don't know what FreshBooks is, it's a cloud-based accounting system that allows you to send invoices, gather up your expenses, and get paid even quicker. Being a freelance designer working in a company means that getting my work done and getting invoiced, setting expenses for different things can be a bit of a chew on. But FreshBooks allows you to easily gather these up, whether they're expenses, send it invoices, and the best part about it for me is that it keeps track of whether they've seen the invoice. So when the client has seen the invoice, they can't say to you that they didn't get it because you know they've seen it. And because FreshBooks are sponsoring this video and they want to give you guys a chance to try it out, they're offering you guys 30 days completely free, risk-free trial of FreshBooks to make sure it works for you. So guys, click that link down below, show your support to the channel and to FreshBooks, and try that trial. Try FreshBooks and see what you think. If you're new around here, my name is Will Paterson. Remember to press that red subscribe button down below. Clicking it is completely free. And another thing that is completely free to do is to turn on post notifications, and this allows you to see my videos first, and I'm generally commenting in the first half an hour of when a video goes live. If you want to take part and come design with me, click the link in the below for the Miller Note where it shows you the brief, and join the email list so you never miss a video of Come Design With Me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.